Hello. So in this video, I'm going to briefly talk about, well, hopefully briefly talk about prices and what what I plan to dip into, what I see, what I observe, and yeah, just give my opinion. So initially, I didn't think I'd purchase a big um purchase a big fucking lot like this before, but the opportunity presented itself. The guy who sells these cards, I know it's dodgy as hell. Yeah. So this guy, he's cornered the market with these gold stars. Sorry, I'll stop talking for a minute and show them off. So we have Raikou. Oh, the glare is crazy. Suicune. These are all near mint 8 graded gold stars and Entei. Oh, fucking glare. But yeah, Entei's definitely my favorite. The more I look at them, like normally I'm unbiased with the base because they're so weak. Then I see Suicune, I'm like, oh, maybe Suicune's my favorite. Then I see Raikou, it's like, oh, the art is crazy. Either way, the artist just knocked this out the park. He designs all the gold cards. The same guy. I don't want to say his name because I'll butcher it, but props to him because yeah, he really nailed that. But I didn't think I'd own those cards. I was on a eBay auction and the 9 turned up and I didn't notice the name, or I didn't think anything dodgy. I just put a couple bids in, lost the bid, of course. This was for a 9. It was just I believe it was for a Raikou. Yeah, it was for a Raikou, and it was the 9, and I lost the bid, and I was gutted. But then I scrolled down and I saw that there was a listing for all three of them, and an 8 was put up, and it was quite low at the time. I think it was about $500 US, which is not very much. So I put in a couple bids, and then I noticed someone else was bidding, and someone propped it up by about 100 or something, on top of what it was. I was like, okay. I waited, so this got to a certain point, and then I think it was 5 seconds left, and then I just put in a bid, and just sat there like this, and I was just staring at my screen, and I was like, uh-oh. I was like, oh shit, I might have won this, and the feeling was like guilt, of like, what have I actually done, like, but the other side of me was like, oh fuck, this is really nice, like, as just to put it into perspective, as a New Zealand collector, getting something from overseas, you've got to pay premium for shipping. It's like for FedEx, it's like $50 onwards. So if I'd won this Raikou that was the 9, and I didn't, yeah. So if I won it, I would have had to pay separate on shipping, as opposed to buying all three in one go and buying a bulk shipping at a lower price. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm losing. I'm not really losing. I got what I wanted because I wanted all three at once, but yeah, I had to pay the shipping just for once. So to me, it was a no-brainer. I always wanted all three of those cards. It's dodgy. It's I don't like. I looked it up immediately afterwards, and I looked up the eBay user, and I was very scared. I didn't think I would actually get the cards because the username, it is the exact guy that had cornered the market with the cards. He owns all the cards. well, not all of the cards, but he has binders and binders that he just sends off to PSA, and he's basically cornered the market in that regard. So he makes a really, really, really nice living off gold stars that he's managed to get. And I don't know how he got them, but if you come across gold stars from a certain person, just let me know and I can tell you who it is in private, just because, to be honest, they came, they're exactly what they were described, and I can't complain. Like, as an outsider who if you didn't know anything about this guy and you had no idea about the history of gold stars and you just wanted gold star dogs and you purchased them, then you wouldn't feel bad about the pricing of them. Like, yeah, he's cornered the market and created the prices for them, but in a way it's sort of fair, I guess. It's like, it's a psychological game because he's creating the prices and it's constantly refilling it with the population that keeps on getting refilled with graded versions of these cards. They're all going to be 8, 9s, or 10s, right? Because the guy's got binders just of like clean cards, just like, you'd have to look it up yourself, YouTube it yourself, and you'll find it. But that's, yeah, that's the biggest purchase I've ever made. I don't regret it at all at the moment. I don't regret it at all. I can always, if the feeling hit me and I'm like, I need to recoup this money, I can just sell these, no trouble, because I've done the dirty work of buying it off this guy and also paying for shipping. So yeah, it's easy as that. My Gold Star Mew has came back. It came back, and I knew the grade. I mean, I'm kind of gutted. Like I said in the previous video, I'm kind of gutted. It came back a 5. It has force for surface, but like, this is my favorite card of all time. Like, the more like I look at it, the more that I have it, and I didn't have it in my collection. It's not all about the money either. Like, I just really like this artist. This I'm gonna try his name. It's Masakusa Fukada. Probably butchered it, but that guy who created all these gold stars, he just, I don't, I can't see it in any other fucking style of art in these cards. Like, from then onwards, he just, yeah, it's it's always going to be my favorite style of card, this gold star, because it doesn't break what being an epic card is to me. Like, it's not like a full art or something where it just looks like cheap and tacky. It just like encapsulates a bit more than your average card. So there's the hollow, and then there's just like the extra border that's been broken. There's the extra hollow. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, 5 on that. Not too mad. I could probably cross grade it to PSA 6, but this one's got deep gouges. Like, I'd even be dodgy. It would even be dodgy sending it to PSA, to be honest, because they might just give it a 3 or 4. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure about how that grading works, but yeah. At the moment, I actually like how Beckett has graded it. So the case, I really like the case. It's so fucking thick compared to a PSA. So I'll keep that for now. Whether or not I get a cleaner copy, it's possible. I mean, the price of gold stars is just astronomical at the moment, so I don't think that's possible. That's the other one that I got recently. It's only a 6, but I might crack that because that's the last one I need for my hollow WotC base set. So that was the last one I needed too. So it's not a bad copy either, PSA 6. And my last one I have is a one I've probably showed before, PSA 9, 25th version. I have 2 of these, but only one of them. This is the only one that's graded that I bought. So yeah, that's my PSA collection and my talk about the Gold Star dogs, beasts, whatever you want to call them. Um, I guess it's at the end of the day, it's on you. It's on you what you perceive, because at the end of the day, say you brought these Pokemon cards off dispersed, and in some way you feel like they have been stolen. Those cards themselves have been stolen, and you're buying it from a separate person, and you don't actually know where they came from initially. You're just going on off an eBay listing, and you're just buying it. If you don't think about it, who knows where your current cards have come from, whether they're legit or not. You know what I mean? But because this guy's famous about, well, it's famous to the mainstream old school Pokemon collectors, but to the newer people maybe not, maybe not. So that's, yeah. So it's famous in that regard. So like when people they're on one side or the other, they stay clear of him because they don't like what he's done to the hobby and what he's done to the Gold Stars especially, or you just accept that he runs the market and you buy off him and just know that they're stolen. Yeah, that's it's one or the other. Uh, you can't really go down the middle, because you got to pick a side, because at the end of the day they're extremely rare sought after cards, and despite him having cornered the market, there's still a really low population on all three of those, and 8, 9, and 10. Like they're high compared to Gold Stars, but but in the grand scheme of things, they're still really really low. So compare that to modern. Just look it up yourself and decide for yourself. So that would be my opinion on the beasts. So if you want to talk more, give us a message. Other than that, see you in the next video.